On?
Hey, it's the right weekend, and I'm here with my friend Adrian, Sideway Stripes, and Don Bochinche. They're both on Instagram, and Don Bochinche is also on Facebook. I have them both on today to talk about Jose Alba. I put Bodega Worker because if I put Jose Alba, people are probably not going to understand who I'm talking about. Everybody already knows it's the Bodega Worker. So. Real quick, but just in case for the people who, from New York that don't know what's going on, I'm going to play a quick clip of the video that everybody's talking about.
And before, so as you're playing that clip, anybody that's not from up here or around here or anywhere, if it's called Bodega is convenience store.
Yes, Bodega
corner store.
But in particular, is a Spanish one because you got the Habibis. That's the Muslim stores.
Right. It's the corner stores, but everywhere else it's corner store, convenience store. Up here, Bodega. Everybody calls it Bodega. No matter.
Yeah. Well, you could talk because the video. There's no sound for the video, but you can see that this guy went on the other side of the counter, pushed the old man. The guy's 61 years old, and look, the guy's trying to just just let him talk or whatnot. But then the guy starts getting violent with him.
I mean, well, he's already being.
Oh, he already pushed him,
right?
Yeah,
he already came over the counter. I mean, he's already over on the other side, invading the space. He's got him cornered. I mean, what does he think is going to happen? What does he think? What does he think?
What's the saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
And for the people who didn't see, I just wanted to play that real quick because, I mean, the story's been out there. I don't know who hasn't seen it. So, I'll start with you, Don Bochinche, because I know you have limited time. So,
yeah. So a lot of people seen it. So, just to let you guys know, I come from a family that worked in the court system, right? So. Everybody's seen the video. A lot of people seen the video. A lot of people are already claiming it's self-defense, right? So the article, before we got on the live show, I was talking to Carlito, the right weekend. And basically what I'm trying to say is it's not always, it's self-defense. Why he got locked up? They should release him. It's self-defense. I agree with that. Let him go. But there's due process, right?
Yes.
So he gets arrested. They put him through the system. He sees the judge. At the beginning, and these are according to all the online stories, the Post, whoever's reporting, the district attorney wanted a $500,000 bail. And the reason he wanted a $500,000 bail was because Mr. Alba already had a planned trip to the Dominican Republic. So they was like, he's going to leave. There's like, nah, he's not leaving. Here's the passport. So they reduced it to $250,000, right? So when you go in front of a judge after you get arrested, right, that's when they do the bail or they let you go, which is called ROR, release on your own recognizance, meaning we're going to let you go because you're going to come back, right? When you come back to court, that's the arraignment. That's when officially, from my understanding, when they hit you, when they charge you with the crime. So he's at the...
Uh-oh. He might have gotten a phone call. I know he's on his phone.
Oh, so while
we wait for him to come back.
Yeah. So we'll wait for him to come back. I want to jump in.
Go ahead.
And I understand what he was saying about due process. Now, I've seen it.
Oh,
you can hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So he goes to arraignment, which was obviously, I think, this morning. That's when they officially hit you with the charge. Hey, Mr. Jose Alba, you are officially charged with murder. What do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? Not guilty. That's when they go back and forth. The judge, they lowered the bail to $50,000. So out of the $50,000, they got to come up with 10%. or 20% and some bond. So he's gonna come out in a couple hours. He's gonna be out tonight, and they are gonna put that ankle bracelet on him, and he cannot leave the 5 boroughs.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So,
I have here's the story here, so people could see that. And yeah, it's going to be $5,000. They're going to pay $5,000 bond to get him out.
It still boggles me. I've seen this before, where somebody does something in self-defense, like a bodega owner, actually shoots somebody that was trying to rob him at gunpoint. A person inside their home that either he stabbed them, beat them with a bad an intruder, shot an intruder. Things that happen out in the street. It's happened so many times in self-defense. Cops say, well, we got your information. This entire scene looks like a self-defense. We've gotten some statements. It looks like self-defense. We will come back to get an official statement, and basically that's it. That's it. And then it gets taken, and then they figure out whether they're going to charge you with murder or not. He got arrested, not detained. Mm-hmm. He got arrested. Well, that means that they charged him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I was gonna say, well, the one difference that you gotta understand with this case is the high profile. It's different. Let's say it happens out in the street, and the cop, it's not nothing that went mainstream. This is something that was on the news. Everybody was seeing it. As much as I think I still think it's bullshit, but when it comes to a case like that, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, if you're law enforcement. Because if you don't, then if you don't do anything, then especially in this case, you're gonna have the Moreno saying, "Oh, look, they didn't charge him because he's black."
Shit.
I'm just saying, but I'm just keeping it real because let's be honest. If it was a white guy, nobody would give a shit.
He got charged with murder, like not self-defense. It wasn't no. He got charged with murder. So that whoever the detective is like, justify murder to me. Justify murder to me. It's like that's the first thing.
But just to let you know, it's at the end of the day, yes, the cops arrested him, detained him, whatever, and the cops say, "Yo, we're arresting him for murder." But when they go in front of the judge and the district attorney, they're the ones who officially, when they get all the paperwork and they get all the evidence and they get everything or whatever they get, they're the ones who really decide what the charge is.
Yeah.
It's not the cops. The cops.
He's just being detained.
I locked Don Bochinche up for murder. Right? But then when the district attorney or the assistant district attorney gets the paperwork and gets this and gets all the facts, but I know, no, it's not murder. It's something else. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to walk for the simple fact that the district attorney, whatever his name is,
Alvin Bragg. I think Alvin Bragg.
Yeah.
They fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go to the grand jury until July 20th. By July 20th, everybody knows this story. So when you go to the grand jury, that's when the district attorney tells his side of the story, right? In front of 20 people. Says, hey, we got this guy by the name of Jose Alba. He did this. We got the proof. We did this. We did this. He did this. He did this. He did this.
Right.
And then the grand jury says guilty or not guilty, right? If they say guilty, that means that's how come you hear in the news, yo, John Doe was indicted. When they say the person was indicted is because they already went to the grand jury and
the grand jury found that there was enough evidence to charge him.
But because they waited so long, they're going to wait so long till July 20th for the grand jury. All those people who they're going to select, they already saw the video. They already heard about it. The Spanish radio station, they're talking about it. You know, it's all over Instagram, Facebook, probably TikTok, and everybody from all the comments that I've seen, a lot of people saying, "Yo, that's self-defense."
Yeah,
I've seen some comments where somebody said, "Yo, that's good for that dude." I was like, "Damn." You know,
that's.
I don't wish death on nobody.
Nah, I don't wish violence or death on nobody.
I don't. Maybe the Jose Alba, could have snuffed them. Anyway, I wasn't there. But when shit hits the fan, shit is different, right?
Yeah.
We can sit here, we can stand here, or some people can stand here and say, "Well, if I was there, I would have not stabbed him. I would have fought back." Yeah. But when when shit hits the fan, it's totally different. So he's gonna walk, and this is what I say that's gonna happen. They're gonna go to the grand jury, and then the article that I read said they don't know if they're gonna add the murder charge in the grand jury hearing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they may try to do manslaughter because they know that they're not gonna be able to prove murder.
They're not gonna be. And even with manslaughter, right? I don't know what's the law definition of manslaughter and all that other crap.
In New York, I don't know what is it in New York. Every state has a different,
every state has a different level, whatever they call it. But still, it'll still be the same defense. The only thing is with the murder charge is harder to prove because you have to prove intent.
You have to prove intent. You have to prove intent. So what's gonna happen is he might get indicted. They're gonna probably take it to trial, or they're gonna probably plea bargain. And if they do take it to trial, I'm saying they're gonna find him not guilty. He walks out to court. But I don't even think it's gonna go that far. I don't even think it's gonna go to trial. What's gonna happen is they're gonna put pressure. All these politicians, they're gonna put pressure on the district attorney, Briggs or Braggs, whatever his name is. And, now the district is going to say, yeah, but he had a knife. Why he had a knife if he's working behind the counter? I understand if he was working in the kitchen, in the bodega, and he had the knife on his hand, but why he had a knife? So this is what's going to happen. They probably just going to hit him with what's called a German, ACD, which is a German contemplation dismissal, which basically says if you don't get in trouble for X amount of time, so let's say like, okay, Jose Alba, we're gonna give you an ACD, right? If you don't get in trouble for a year, you come back to court, we dismiss everything,
right?
And I think that's what's gonna happen.
That makes sense.
There's no way in hell that they're gonna take this to trial where everybody is already claiming that the man did it in self-defense. So those jurors the jurors are already tainted. They already made up their mind. They already got their minds made up. Yo, the man did it in self-defense. He's not guilty.
No.
And that's another one. I just don't think there should have been any, they could have, the detectives, whoever the detective was that arrested the man, they need to be investigated.
No.
They need to be investigated.
No, but the detective, the cops don't have no right to say, yo, this is we saw the video. It's self-defense. Let him go. The cops have no say-so in that.
No, they don't.
At all. They lock you up. They be like, yo, we locked Don Bochinche up for this. All right. He goes through the system. Boom, boom, boom. That's how come the courts, you go to court for a whole bunch of times because you got to get proof. Then after this, it's called discovery. You go back to court, and now the DA says, yo, here's all the discovery. Here's all the information we found out about what happened. All right, come back. It's not the cops. It's not the detectives. They do not have any power to let somebody.
They don't have the leeway. They don't have the leeway that the DA does. The DA is the one. Like the DA, they went from 500,000 and lowered it all the way to 50,000 because
now the cops. Hold on.
Okay.
Now Now, if it's a bullshit charge, you know, like for example, you know, I carry a knife on me, and I've been stopped while smoking a cigar. Hold on.
You got me candy?
Nah, you ain't tell me.
Yes, I did.
So, right, and I got stopped. I'm smoking a cigar on my block. Cops come and was like, yo, somebody said they smoking weed. I was like, nah, nobody's smoking weed. I'm smoking a cigar. You got any? Yeah, I got a knife. Why you carry a knife? Oh, because I'm a building maintenance worker. I cut wires and all that stuff. Where's your knife? In my pocket. He's like, let me see. Go ahead, now you touch it. You know, I got, right? He says, yo, put the knife in your pocket. Go down the block, smoke your cigar. In situations like that, yeah, you know, I took the chance. But it's small stuff like that the cops could be like, go ahead, go. You understand what I'm saying? But when it comes to a murder charge, they don't have no power to just be like, yeah, it's self-defense.
That's if it's
there
murder.
Has to always be a process.
If it's self-defense,
whether we agree with it, that it's self-defense, but there always has to be a process.
Yeah.
Right. But it's self-defense unless they went back to the DA, and this is my understanding, at least from what I've seen, at least from what I understand.
Yeah.
If it's self-defense, they go back and they're like, all right, we have we have a case where this person was killed, and it was self-defense. They'll be like, look, stay home. We got all your information. Stay home. Don't go nowhere. They take it over and they give it to the DA. Look, this is a self-defense thing. Then the DA would either say, okay, it's a self-defense. They're gonna give them a call and they can settle it without you going to court. Or they can say you can get arrested. Go pick them up, and then they go pick you up.
All right. So hold on. So guys, hold on. I got my mother here, right?
Yeah.
My mom worked 30 years in the courts, criminal court, Manhattan criminal court, Bronx criminal court. She retired as a senior court clerk. What you say about this case?
He has to prove that it was self-defense.
My mother says that he has to prove that it was self-defense. And what else? What else he'd say?
They gotta wait. Yeah, it's murder on first degree. It's murder.
Process.
He killed him. He still got to go to a trial. But that's the only way he's gonna get defended.
I told him that they're not gonna charge him. I mean, he's not gonna get convicted of this charge.
No, he's not gonna get convicted if they prove that the guy really attacked him. You understand? He will not get convicted. He'll walk. But it has to go in front of a jury. They can't, not unless the DA finds enough on that tape to say, okay, this is dismissed. Because the DA, what they want to do is sentence you, prosecute you. That's their business. That's it.
You heard that, guys?
That's it.
I heard
that. Heard that. She said two.
My mother says the business of the district attorney is to convict you.
Yep.
Right?
Man, she's spitting fire right now.
No, but Jose Alba and his attorney, right, hypothetically, doesn't have to prove anything. It's the district attorney who has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed murder.
Right.
Yeah,
but
innocent until proven guilty.
The thing is that they gotta make sure that he did it because he was defending himself. You understand? Because the guy could have went and wolf for nothing, but it shows that the guy hit him, that the guy approached him. So what motherfucker, you hit me and I hit you back. I got you. And so, he's gonna come out good. He's gonna walk.
So my mother says he's gonna walk, but there has to be a due process, and it has to go to the trial. I don't think it's gonna go that far. I think they're gonna fucking settle out of court, But like, yo,
hopefully it's gone far enough.
Yeah,
dismiss the case.
It's not. You see, they still gotta go in front of a judge.
Yes.
The DA, and they already arraigned him.
Yeah,
he's already arraigned. And he's arraigned he gotta be indicted within 5 days.
No, but according to online, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother's not a fucking judge because she don't got a fucking degree. You heard?
She should be a judge. She should be a judge. She needs to vote it in. I'll vote for her. I'll vote for her.
If she went to college,
I'll vote for her.
A judge. So
you don't need a degree to be a lawyer. You don't need a degree to be a lawyer. I'll vote for her.
Hold on. So the DA postponed the indictment to July 20th. I say he fucked up Because by July 20th, everybody knew. Everybody's claiming self-defense.
No.
So all those 20
he
people
knows what he's doing. When he put 20 to the 20th,
yeah.
is because he has an idea that the guy is innocent. So he's gonna put it that way. But the guy was already arraigned. That's what's important. He's arraigned. They can indict you anytime. The only thing that the law is that they gotta indict you within 5 days. Now, if district attorney says, no, we're gonna hold him to such and such, is because they're gonna investigate. And right there, they might dismiss the case. He might walk.
So basically, you're saying that the district attorney's like, the district attorney knows deep down in his heart, yo, this is self-defense, but let me push back July 20th to July and try to help out because I know he's innocent.
These motherfuckers, they don't help out. These motherfuckers are out for me. Fuck the bullshit.
Bochinche.
The district attorney is out.
Your mom should run to be a judge.
Fuck that shit.
She should run to be a judge. I'll vote for her.
Move upstate, and upstate judges you don't need a law degree. You need to be voted in.
Voted in.
Yeah, but those are not judges. A judge that voted in is a magistrate. And he doesn't have no power.
Hello? I stand corrected.
Welcome to the world.
A little bit.
Yo, hold on, guys. Are there comments? There's comments? I don't see no comments.
I was looking. There was one comment that someone said on Twitter. They put, he should be given a parade.
Oh, shit. Yo. All right, so
there'd be a lot of salami and plátanos around there.
Yeah.
Yo, the right Rican, Sideways. Yo, thank you for having me on the thing. I got to do some errands with my mom's. My mom's going on a trip in a couple of days. So
thank your mom for coming on. Thank your mom for her opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. They said thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
If you get into trouble, you call me.
Yo, my mother says, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever get into trouble, call her and she's gonna
first phone call on the burner. First phone call on the burner.
That they grab you and they put you in the room and you start singing. You don't talk.
Yo, my mother said, if you get arrested, don't do what you see in Law and Order. They put you in the room and you start talking. Don't do that. My mother says you don't start talking until you get an attorney. You heard?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm up out here. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Peace.
Thank you.
Oh man, that was fire. His mom coming on and you know, working in the courts that she knew. You know, she knows her stuff.
Yes.
I'm sad. I'm upset I didn't get to talk about this with him. But since I still have you on, I wanted to share this other video because I think it's endemic of what's going on in New York and around this in all the cities around the country. I'm gonna show you what happened in my old neighborhood.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to put this video. Some idiots. So let me just lay down the groundwork of this story. So apparently, I guess it was late at night. They were drunk, and they wanted extra sauce. And because it cost $1.75 for extra sauce, this is what these people did.
Let's see this. All right. Already talking smack. All right. Now throwing stuff. Now jumping over the counter. We just seen somebody get jabbed up because of this. Throwing things. Assault, basically. For $1. Oh, man.
Look at this.
You're cornering a person, which can be considered unlawful detention or whatever it is, or kidnapping, because you're within you're within 10 feet.
I mean, but look, they're destroying the place over $1.75.
$1.75. Destruction of private property. Which is literally, literally an issue with
look at this.
For $1.75. Didn't all three of them get arrested?
You know what? I didn't get that information because I don't know when this happened. I just found this video came up on my feed the other day, and I was like, wow. So you know
high
this goes
definition
on.
camera, right?
So
all of them under what are they called? Facial recognition for sure, because they could have pressed whatever charges on them. Between them cornering whoever it was that was filming, that can be considered kidnapping.
Apparently, some of them had to go to the hospital with injuries.
That's assault, battery, whatever. I don't know, a bunch for $1.75.
What I want to just talk about here is just the lack of respect for life, because even in the other case, the guy had no respect. Jose Alba is 61 years old. You had no respect for an older man that you had to come and push him and go up in his face like that. In this case, they're just workers. They don't control what the prices are. People don't have no respect for others, period.
$1.75. All that trouble and the value of $1.70. All that trouble is worth $1.75 out of your life. Like seriously. I mean, like you were just saying, there is a certain. It almost seems like there's been a cognizant push to devalue, to make people feel so devalued in their life that they say, well, for $1.75, I'm gonna act up, possibly get locked up. Could have even fell down, fell face forward, busted their face open, whatever the case may be. Risk of injury, risk of now having a criminal record. All of this because somebody didn't either give them something that's worth $1.75, or because they just simply didn't feel like they wanted to pay $1.75. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Well, the only reason, like I said, the only reason I link it is because this is this is the stuff that's going on nowadays. It's like you see these youngins. I'm gonna say they're youngins because they look like maybe they're
early 20s
at best, early, somewhere in the early 20s.
Yes.
And they have no respect for others. It's like,
I'm gonna say early 20s because of the way that they dressed and the way that they acted. But they looked older than that. But they didn't look like older. They just looked like, I don't know, like wore down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when was the last time you slept good and had a good meal? And like when was the last time you got out and about and took a nice walk? Like you look like an old, like a young old person, not like an old younger looking person. Nah, you look like a young person that looks real old. Like you've been on a bender for a week. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. But like I said, I mean, for me, I just think that it's just a endemic of what's going on in society now, that we're in such a self-centered society that this is going on. Same thing. Like I said, the reason I link these because they both happen in New York, and they're both endemic of what's going on, where these young people, they don't have respect for people, and it's all about me. So like this guy, I've read different stories about what happened with the Bodega Worker, and one said that his girlfriend said that the owner was rude, that the worker was rude, and another story said that it was over a bag of chips. I don't know this story, but either way, people have to have respect for each other.
Yes, and to give some context, to give some context on the situation as a whole. A few months ago, there was a video circling around about a group of people beating the crap out of two bodega workers. One woman and one man, older man, and one woman around in her like 40s. Like they beat them, and it was I think it was on the east side, if I'm not mistaken, like or either in Uptown. I'm not sure. Close, it might have been close to there. So there's a video. You know, if you look back, there's a video of that. I mean, that about 6. You know that more people get hammered to death and beaten by hands and feet. There's more people getting hammered or beaten by their, beaten to death by personal, more so than long guns.
Believe
so
it.
People want to ban ban long guns, AR-15s, this, that, and the other, right? But do you understand anybody that's like, oh, he should have never stabbed him, this, that, and do you know that more people get beaten to death than get shot by long guns? And that's insane because every year people go out into the woods and they go on their own volition and they go, and they go on their own risk and things like this, it's like you're out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's either by accident or by actual,
that's why
intentional.
And that's why I say about the lack of respect. I go, if people want to see, people want to blame, like you said, people want to blame the guns and whatnot, but people don't go, okay, why we still had access to guns 50, 60 years ago, but nowadays, what's the difference between 50, 60 years ago and now? And I think it has to do with, like I said, respect for your fellow person, your respect for yourself, because
yes,
if you was a self-respecting person, that what happened with Jose Alba doesn't happen, because you would go and you would talk to the guy and be like, hey, let's say for example, if what I heard about the girlfriend, you go, hey, my dude, why you acted up with my girl for?
Right.
Oh, no, I didn't do anything. Well, she's saying, somebody's lying. I don't know who's lying. Right. But at the end of the day, people don't do that. People do what this guy did. He pushed him, went up in his face,
cornered
him. And like same thing with the other one, like you said, they were cornered there in the back of the store.
Yes.
What are they going to do? They're lucky. Those girls are lucky that person didn't have a gun behind the counter,
or an ice pick, or a or any type of blunt
object,
or a hammer.
The only reason I say gun is because there was more than one of them.
Right, but even like or a gun or a machete or a knife or a fucking ice pick or anything, right? Like your people, a person feels cornered and now you're actively assaulting them. You don't know what a person's gonna do.
You don't know. Like what's funny is like I remember growing up, my grandfather had a bodega, and behind the counter, my grandfather had a machete, because you never know.
Never know. Yeah. Oh.
You never know.
Them damn Puerto Rican and Dominicans.
Oh no, what happened? Okay, now I'm gonna have to talk till Adrian gets back. But look, that's what I'm saying. That's what's endemic of what's going on. I think this is just a symptom of a sick society that we're living in. I think another factor with what went on in Bell's Fries is these girls probably, I'm sure, I know the video that I showed was from the point of view of the workers. But what about, I'm pretty sure you had like a friend or something recording from the point of view of the girls who were wilding out. And that's an issue too. That's an issue too with here he goes. Ed.
And then
lucky I have a big mouth and I could talk. So,
StreamYard was like, oh man, these These two, let me see what the algorithm was like. Oh no, they're white. These two white people are talking about Dominicans and damn Puerto Ricans. The next thing you know, they're gonna say some shit like talking about machetes. Gotta knock them off.
Yeah, we're gonna take them off. They can't be talking about that stuff. But no, like what I was saying while you were gone, I said this is a symptom of a sick society that we live in. I think that
yes.
this stuff that's going on like this, it's going on because we live in a society that's degenerating, that's degressing. Oh, it should more like regression.
Yes, I think. Yes, between the fear, the regular person going through fear, like is there going to be famine coming? Is there going to be baby formula shortage? Is there going to be is the food going to continue to get more expensive? Will I be able to pay for for my car next week? How do I get to, to work? How do I get to try to find a job? This, that, and the other. There's so many things. Am I going to miss another payment on my mortgage? There's so many things that everyone's dealing with. And then you have a default position as well, to the point of like, well, YOLO, right? And it's like, yeah, Joel, you're absolutely right. You do only live once. Like, what's the revelation here? I mean, how are you living? That's really the part. Like, how are you living? Who are you while you're alive?
Which is funny. You were talking about. You just said revelation, man. I was just thinking about. Like, I see some people put stupid stuff, and what I don't think, like some people, like I said, I know we went through that you're an atheist, but people mistranslate the Bible. And one of the biggest mistranslations of the Bible is that people say that it's thou shalt not kill. And that's not the translation. It's thou shalt not murder. Because if you kill someone in self-defense, just like in this case, it's not murder. You're not gonna go to hell because you killed somebody that was attacking you. Because if you kill him in self-defense, it could be something as stupid as you push the guy trips, hits his head, and dies.
Right. You
didn't mean to kill him. You were defending yourself.
Right. Yeah. Which and there's a lot of either ways to interpret certain things. There's a lot of ways to like actually twist them around to self-benefit, because of the language translations and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the sickness of the society, it's almost like people that are willing to now hold on. Let me not go down this path too darkly.
Okay.
We are less violent now as a whole than ever before in history. Like,
I don't.
In a sense,
I don't.
We're less violent.
I would beg to differ. I would
maybe 2019. What, January 2019? We were at our best, I guess.
I would disagree with that only because, we always want to think that that we're in a better society than we were, 20, 30, 50 years ago. But like I said, are we less violent now than 50 years ago when, we didn't have to, we didn't have all these mass shootings like we have now?
I don't know if see. I don't. There's less.
Okay, and I could give you another example. Wait, we're about the same age, right? Because I'm 43. Yes. Okay,
I'm 40, yeah.
So we're about the same age. So, and I even seen this transition going on from when I was a kid to by the time I graduated high school. When you used to shoot the fair one was just two people, you fought, you squashed it afterwards, and that was it. And then this was like, let's say, elementary school. By the time I got to high school, you had to worry that someone was going to whip out a gun or someone was going to whip out a knife if you got into a fight with them. And I think that's still going. I think that's the case on now. You see, like, with what's going on, like in New York, and with the increase in crime, you see that people. I mean, I just saw a video the other day where two people got into a fight in a bathroom, and I guess one of their friends whipped out a gun and started shooting people.
All right.
Are we less violent?
Okay, so by personal experience, yes, we're less violent. All right. By numbers, we're also less violent. Like, so this is where I'm going with it. By personal experience, machete fights were a thing. I saw people get thrown rocks at because they were either evangelicals or evangelicals throwing rocks at Catholics, or there was just a kind of like absurd violence. Like it was weird. It was weird. A person slept with somebody's wife. Next thing you know, he's running out of the thing and he's fucking being chased by machetes. All the three brothers are after him. I saw that in person. I saw one guy get his arm chopped, and I've seen that. Like, I've seen it. So like, and then I came here, and I came to a real bad area of Miami, Wynwood, and then I the violence that I saw there and personally experienced in elementary school. I got jumped and beat up, like, so and I saw, like, in elementary school a girl get sexually molested, and while the librarian was on the other side of the door and didn't want to open the door.
Wow.
That's a real heart deep wound in my personal history. Let me see. There was a kid get beaten to death by a branch at my high school. Besides the shootings that occurred at either the neighborhood park or the gangs and things like that. So I might have a completely different perspective, and also because of the amount of places either I've been at and just maybe wrong timing, and so my perspective on violence is completely different than somebody that lived out in like northern whatever. Now, and I've seen a lot more.
I grew up in the Lower East Side before it got gentrified, so I grew up, seeing a lot of stuff. So I mean, especially like, during the
crack era,
during the
gangs
crack
in the
era.
90s.
Yep, the gangs in the 90s.
A lot of gangs in the 90s.
Yes.
But
you know what?
So
we're getting sidetracked with that. I wanted to touch base on the story that you brought to my attention, because here it goes. I'll share this one because you shared this story with me. I know you wanted to get into it. You being
let's hit a hard pivot. Let's hit a little.
Let's just because the fact is it's a little more lighthearted, but
yes.
It's a little more lighthearted, but it still has to do with the me first society, because that's what basically all this stuff that culminates with the me first society, because it's about me, and that's what got these people in trouble in the first half of the show. This part here, it's the same symptom, that me first mentality, because here it goes. Army training says soldiers must shower with transgender persons of opposite sex.
Yes. And all right. So I have no issues with this but the only exception is that it says transgender in there. That is my only issue. I have no issue with there being a training center while they're training, right? Army training. Yeah. So basically training in a training center where both male and female shit and shower, pump and dump in the same space. They sleep in different spaces, obviously, because you can't be cognizant of everything that goes on when the lights go out. That's why it's a training center. You're trying to weed out the people that join up and are not in the best of intentions.
So you think it should be like Starship Troopers?
Yes, yes, co-ed showers. I think so. You know what it's called? It's called looking straight. Look straight forward, shower where you're showering at. Because I'm not worried. I'm not thinking about. Some guys did think about this. Like some guys, like actively, while I was in boot camp, some guys actively were looking at and saying, yo, that guy looks like a punk. A punk meaning gay.
Okay.
And there, so there was these conversations, especially on the section. I was one of the section leaders in the section where I was at, and they were, hey, yo, Pete, this person looks like he's a punk. So whatever you can do, you know what I'm saying, like try to keep that away. And I'm just like, just look straight forward, shower where you're showering at. He's gonna be looking straight forward, and any dumb shit happens, then that's something else. So in my brain, I'm like, I'm not even thinking about this dude looking over and trying to act up or anything. Nothing's gonna happen in the shower.
I feel what you're saying, but I just think that with all the sexual misconduct that goes on in the military, which I'm sure you know about,
which is something that I'll bring up.
Okay. I think that this is another mistake by this. The military is not a place for social experimentation. The military is a place that you're supposed to teach people. Okay, let's be realistic. You're supposed to teach people how to kill, defend our country, and that's it. What's going on with the politics shouldn't come to play in the military.
Yes, and I agree with that. But basically, this is where we're training right here a group of people, right, male and female, to have to work together in all circumstances where accommodations are not always feasible. And if you try to accommodate certain things to try to say, okay, this, where let's say there's a base in Fallujah, you're about only 500 square feet, right, or whatever it is, or 500 feet by 500 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't be accommodating and having a girl shower for one female and a guy shower for one, whatever the case may be. You can't be accommodating. Yeah. You got to learn. You got to learn to. This is what you're doing. By the time you're in there, you're grown. You're supposed to be a grown up, right? This is how you start training. Look forward, shower up. Don't be looking sideways. Period. And then that's how the training needs to start from the very inception of the.
But then
person walking in.
Let me ask you a question. But what's your opinion then on women in the military period?
I think that there should be no different physical standards.
Okay. So basically, if they could have the same, they could pass the same physical test as a regular man, then they should be let in. Otherwise, no.
Absolutely correct. Now, somebody brought up this to my attention was, don't you want the best cryptologist to be the best cryptologist? And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. So certain MOSs or rates, whatever they want to call them, certain jobs should have a different physical standard. Now there should be no physical, like it shouldn't be no physical standard. But when you're in an MOS or a rate where let's say you're a cryptologist, you're never going to see combat. You're always going to be in the office, always. Yeah. That is, they should start considering on changing it from a physical strength standard, which is what people that are on boots on the ground or anywhere in anywhere where you're deployed on the ground, period.
Yeah.
It's a physical standard because you're going to have to, if you need to, be able to pull, drag, push, run, pick, whatever the case may be. You're going to need that physical strength standard. Now, there should be a fitness standard that goes with the others, and the fitness standard would be just basically overall health. Can you run? Can you run 3 miles? Can your heart, can you keep your heart rate at a certain things that every capable human could do while they're in the service? So that's where I go with that.
Oof.
My
battery almost died. I forgot to plug in my computer. I forgot to plug in my computer. The Mac, the battery life is so good that you forget to plug it in.
And I just like, right.
So I got my battery.
When you go full charge.
I'm at 7%. I was at 7%.
Nice.
No, but I understand. I respect that. You know what? I think that you're right. I think, if you're going to be a combat soldier, there shouldn't be your physical test should be the same regardless male or female. Now, if you're going into like a specialized field, like you said, something where you're not going to be boots on the ground, you're going to be, obviously you should have some, like you said, some fitness training, some actual combat training, because you still may get into a situation where it calls for you to have to fight.
Yes.
But it should be, but then like here where you see like, they want to be able to have like a trans woman be in the shower with a woman. Do you think shouldn't there be some sort of mental test too? Because, and I don't mean like mental and let's say smartness, because I know the jobs go by they test, and depending on your aptitude is depending what jobs you could apply for, so to speak.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But there should be some sort of like mental illness test, because the stress of certain situations, people crack. And it's like, if you have someone, if you have, no offense to, trans people, but we already know from the literature, they have high levels of mental illness.
Okay, so this is where I'm going with this,
right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I see exactly who you're going. This is actually something that I've given thought at before. Am I? But on my voice, okay? My voice coming clearly?
Yeah, just not your video. Okay. Now you're not coming up. You're disappearing.
Oh no!
The whole thing of going live.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So, all right. So this is what I think about this. I think his name is Eddie Lazier. Eddie Lazier was a dude that.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The comedian.
Yeah, the comedian. Yeah, he's a savage, bro. He's a savage. Like he was, whatever it was.
Eddie Izzard, Izzard. Yeah.
Izzard, yeah. Foreign Legion, I think, or was it British? Special forces. I'm not sure. He was a savage, and he said that he didn't. While he was in, he didn't transition, and then as soon as he got out, he did. There was another guy just recently, Joe Rogan podcast. He was a SEAL, and while he was in, he didn't, and then after he got out, but was part of a whole another type of Pentagon thing. When he did that, he did. My opinion on that is there should be, whether a person feels their identity, they identify as either male or female, it does absolutely nothing for me when it comes to being ready for combat. What they shouldn't be doing is altering hormones that would otherwise make you less physically able or less prone to being assertive enough in a battlefield. So
Uh-oh. I think. Okay, you know what? I think with. I think at this point, I think we should call it a day. Call it a night. It's been almost an hour.
Like knowledge.
Hey, you got cut off
Okay.
completely. So I was say and
Oh,
your
shucks.
point
All right.
and end your point, and then we're gonna cut. I'm gonna cut it off because it will almost in an hour in.
Okay, so yeah. So what I think about the whole transgender thing is, I don't care if a person identifies as anything. I just don't think that the military should be trying to accommodate for aesthetics. Try to accommodate for aesthetics. I want the best possible. While you're there, you're property of the U.S. The United States of America. While you're in there, and you sign up for it voluntarily, you sign up to be this. Right now, it doesn't mean that you have no human rights, but it does mean that the only thing that we should be pushing for is maximum performance, and that's all you should be getting for. And now, eventually, as you get out, then if there's some cosmetic issue that occurred while you were in, that you're getting out, or while you're in, if it's actually messing with your performance, but as long as it doesn't hinder performance. So if a person wants to, I'm all about legalize steroids. If a person wants to increase their performance in whatever it is field is that they're doing, especially being in the military, go right ahead. But the whole thing about pushing for like estrogen or whatever the case may
Well,
be,
like I said,
or something that
the whole social the military is not a social experiment.
Right.
The military is not a social experiment. That's why I said what's going on in society should be kept out of the military. Has no place in the military.
No place.
No place. The military. You don't see Russia doing this. You don't see China doing this. You don't see none of our enemies doing this bullshit.
No.
And it makes our military weaker, having to accommodate all this stuff.
Yes, because it's other than mission oriented.
Nope. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end. Well, earlier we had on Don Bochinche. For people who don't know, you can find him on Facebook and Instagram. I will link to his page. Same thing I'll do with Adrian. That we didn't get to do this yesterday because he had to work, so I figured let's fit it in today. And I think he's cut off again. So cool. Thank you for whoever. Thank you for watching. For whoever watches this after the live stream's over, thank you. Please like and follow the channel. And in the description, I will add everyone who was on today. With that being said,